The story of Grizzly Adams is big and powerful and beautiful. They call me Mad Jack. And me and my burro number 7 been traipsing these slopes and valleys for a long spell, so I know the story from the beginning. My friend Adams was accused of a crime he didn't commit, so he escaped into the mountains, leaving behind the only life that he ever knew. Now that wilderness out there ain't no place for a greenhorn, and his chances of surviving were mighty slim. Weren't no time at all, for he was beaten down, ragged, and nearly starved. Long about then, he come upon a grizzly bear cub, all alone and helpless. Now, Adams knew that little critter couldn't survive without his help, so he started right down that cliff, risking his own life to save it. Now, that cub took to Adams right off. And that was when he discovered he had a special kind of way with animals. They just come right up to him like he was a natural part of the wilderness. But that bear cub, he was extra special. As he growed, he became the best friend Adams ever had, and together they became a legend.
There's a world where we don't have to run and make. There's a time we'll call our own, living free in harmony and majesty. Take me home, take me home, take me home, take me home.
Now here where I live, there's something for everybody. Rugged peaks, easy-going foothills, tall timbers, rushing rivers, and lazy streams. And this attracts all kinds of folks, each one coming into these parts for a different reason. Some looking for freedom, some for adventure, and some for riches. And some, like Adams, just looking for a place to live in harmony with nature. Morning. You all look like you had a good night.
Morning, Joshua.
Well, Ben, first off, we'll clean up around here. We'll stack that wood up alongside the cabin. Thank you, Ben. Working together, we'll get done in no time. I appreciate you trying to help, Josh. This is just a mite too heavy for you. As soon as I start splitting up some kindling, then you can give us a hand. Hawk's here early this morning. Hawk looks like he scoured out some trouble, Ben. We better go check it out.
Now, I never knew a fellow like Adams, always ready to help right off when there was any sign of trouble. Now, when he started following Hawk, he had no idea of knowing there was a stranger out here in the wilderness looking for a place to try out some pretty wild ideas. Me and number 7 had just reached the summit on the way to Adams' cabin when we spotted him, and we was mighty puzzled at what we seen.
Perfect, Susie. Perfect. The thermal drafts are just right. It was worth the effort to come up here, huh? Oh, we're gonna fly, Susie. You realize we're gonna show the whole world we can fly?
You know what that is? That's one of them newfangled traps. Yes, sir, that's what that feller's got. All right. Now, we're gonna act like we don't know what it is. Just play it dumb. Howdy.
Huh? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just surprised to see anybody way up here.
That's, quite a contraption you got there.
Contraption? Oh, yes, I certainly hope it proves to be more than a contraption.
It, looks to be big enough for bear.
A bear? A bear? That'd be ridiculous.
Well, cougar anyway.
Cougar, huh? Please excuse me. I've got things to do.
7, did you notice how he clammed up and quit talking? Yeah. We gotta figure out some way to stop that feller. He can't take this contraption around and catch innocent animals. Tell you what we'll do. We'll come back and destroy this thing. That's what we'll... Now, number 7, quit cozying up to the enemy. Nothing worse than a lovesick burro. Now, you just come away from there. Them saucy little cute ones that'll do it to you every time. I remember one time down at Rendezvous, a long time ago, there was this cute little redhead. Big, beautiful eyes. They looked like a buffalo calf's. And she just kind of snapped them at me. And, well, I very foolishly... Now, 7, you're not paying one bit of attention to what I'm telling you, are you? All right. Have it your own way. You just go mooning around, running into trees without seeing them, stumbling over boulders. When that starts to happen to you, you just remember it all started right here. Right about then, Adams figured Hawk was signaling that the trouble was out there close by, and that Adams should hurry up to help.
Ben, you stay here. I'm gonna go have a look. Hi, lady. Doesn't look like you're in any trouble. That sounds like it could be one of your cubs. Well, looks like you got yourself in quite a fix. Yeah. Well, I guess that's what happens when you get curious about that big world around you. I know. Well, no wonder you were worried, Mama. It's a fine-looking cub. There you go. Thanks, Hawk.
That's what I should have done. I should have just run that polecat plumb off the mountain. That's...
What polecat should you run off the mountain?
What are you doing up here?
Well, Hawk tipped us off that there's a little cougar cub caught in a thicket. She's back with her ma now. Everything's all right.
Well, everything ain't all right up on the summit. I tell you, there's a yahoo up there that's got the biggest animal trap I ever did see.
A big trap?
Yeah, big enough to hold Ben there. That's the truth, Ben. I seen it with my own eyes.
Would you talk to him?
Well, I tried to, but he was as close-mouthed as a clam with lockjaw.
Well, I'm going to head up that way and check it out. Come on, Ben.
Well, I better go along with you. No telling what that varmint's up to. You may need me to back you up. Sure, you're anxious to go. Can you believe that, Adams? Number 7 here just went plumb gaga over that trapper's mule.
What a magnificent setting for man's first flight. Hey, you know something, Susie? It's ironic, but you're the only witness to this momentous occasion, huh? Oh, thanks. Thanks, I know you're with me.
There he is. He's working on his contraption. And that's only part of it. I'll tell you, it's a whopper.
Do you really think that thing's a trap?
Well, it gotta be. They're always figuring out newfangled ideas to come up here and catch these poor animals.
Well, it sure don't look like it. Look at that. He's starting to get in it.
Getting in his own trap.
He's strapping himself in.
Using himself for bait. He's gotta be daffier than I thought.
No, Jack. You know what? He's gonna try and fly.
Ah!
Look at, he thinks he's gonna fly like a bird.
Or like a cuckoo.
Go on, you can do it.
Well, that's what he gets for trying to fly in a trap.
Too bad.
Come on, 7.
Come on.
7, you stay here with Ben.
You were lucky. Are you all right?
A little shaken.
Well, this is my friend Jack. My name's Adams.
How do you do? See, I know exactly why I failed it.
Excuse
It was in
me.
the design. I mean,
I don't think we got your name.
my name? Oh, right. That's my name, Wright. Milton Wright, yeah. See, it was in the contour of the wing. Right here. I've got to be able to study a golden eagle, which, by the way, I understand are natives to these parts.
Well, there's some up on the western slope. I'll be glad to take you up there.
You mean you're gonna try to fix this contraption?
It's a flying machine. And yes, I plan to stay right here until I perfect it. I mean, of all the places I've been, this spot right here happens to be the most ideal spot for launching man's first flight.
You mean you expect to fly like a bird?
That's my dream.
It's more like a nightmare.
Jack, he's serious about this flying business. He's evidently put a lot of work and thought in designing this machine.
Well, he'd have more luck if he could grow feathers.
Oh, here. We'll help you get that. After that tumble you had, you have a hard enough time getting yourself up the hill.
Here,
Thank you.
You carry this.
Hey, there's a bear!
Oh, that's just Ben, Mr. Wright.
Ben?
Ben, say hello to Mr. Wright.
How do you do? Well, it certainly is a well-mannered bear.
Yeah, Ben's quite a credit to the Grizzly family. Where do he wants to put this?
Oh, right over here will be fine. Right down in here. Okay, thank you very much. I really appreciate this.
Happy to help you out, Mr. Wright. How'd you like to come to the cabin with us?
Thanks, but no, I've got too much work to do right here.
Well, let's go.
Jack, I think I ought to stay here and keep an eye on Mr. Wright.
Well, all right. You keep an eye on him, and I'll keep an eye on number 7 over there. Look at that. Do you ever see such a lovesick Romeo? Well, look at Lover Boy. If you ain't a hopeless case, and you're not helping matters any by leading him on. Well, you are. Just like that redhead down at Rendezvous a long time ago.
Mr. Wright, do you have a tent?
Tent? No, just a bedroll.
We get some pretty heavy winds up here at the summit.
Yes, I know, but, well, they're mostly favorable winds from my flying machine, right?
I gather you aren't from these parts.
No, Susie and I have had quite a journey. It's worth it, though, just getting away from the ridicule.
Ridicule?
Yeah, you know, I mean, this little town that I come from, I'm afraid my flying machine here is quite a target for laughter and taunts, you know.
I suppose that's what an inventor has to go through.
It doesn't bother me so much, but it's been really hard on my wife and our 2 young sons. But that could all change. It could all turn around with one successful flight.
Adams?
Excuse me.
Are you coming or ain't you?
Jack Wright has no idea what he's up against up here in these mountains. I thought I'd just stay behind and keep an eye on him.
Well, all right. Any lunkhead that thinks he can fly needs all the help he can get. Come on, Romeo. Well, if that ain't the sorriest sound I ever heard. Last time you sounded like that was when you ate that bushel of green apples. I'll see you at the cabin. Come on, Romeo. Well, Adams did give that Wright feller a hand, a big hand, with the help of Ben, of course.
Thank you, Ben. Well, that ought to do it.
Oh, boy, what a construction.
It's called a wiki-up.
you didn't have to go to all that trouble.
Well, you're going to need it up here, Mr. Wright, to protect you from the winds and the storms.
Sure is sturdy.
It's a tripod in the center with a tight circle of poles leaning against it. Then over that goes a thatching of grass and bark and pine boughs, and then some dirt. What is it, Ben? Ben wants to show something. Ben's mighty proud of this fire pit. He hauled all the stones.
Let me ask you something. What are these sticks for?
Well, those are spark arresters. You have to be very careful up here. Popping spark could set a fire to the whole mountainside.
Oh, yes. Yes, of course.
The wiki-up's going to protect you from the prevailing winds.
Ah, the prevailing winds. That's perfect for my next flight.
Now, Adams never would have left for the cabin if he'd have known where Wright was planning to go and the heap of trouble he was going to find. Wright was already gone when Tacoma happened along on his way to visit Adams. Knowing the ways of the wilderness so well, he figured it had to be the greenest of greenhorns that would set up camp way up here on top of a mountain. And he was mighty puzzled at the strange contraption lying there. Now, when he came over for a closer look, he began to have second thoughts about this being a greenhorn's camp. That fire pit appeared like it had been made by a real savvy mountain man. Of course, he had no way of knowing that was Adams' work. And there ain't none better than Adams. Just like that wiki-up Adams had put together. Now, Tacoma was mighty impressed with how it was built. Real strong and solid-like. But he was still puzzled over that contraption. For the life of him, he couldn't figure out what it could be or why it was here. And he was real anxious now to find Adams and tell him about it.
Yeah, shit. You're right. It was the craziest looking thing I ever saw in my life.
Hey, what, Chichi Elk?
Well, that's what I thought it was, too.
That's not a trap.
That's a flying machine, Tacoma.
$1 Jake?
Yeah.
Yeah. That man's gonna fly in it.
The God toy?
Yeah, just like a bird.
I feel like you do, Tacoma. You want to fly like a bird. Next thing you know, he's going to be wanting to lay an egg.
Did you see that man when you were up there?
Bada.
He wasn't anywhere around?
Bada.
That's not good.
Bill, koi te. Ichik.
Well, I know it's a good wiki up in Fire Pit, but he didn't build that. Adams built it. Yeah.
He said he wanted to find a golden eagle. Maybe that's where he is now.
That western slope's no place for a greenhorn to be wandering around. Not by himself.
We've got to find him. Come on, Ben.
When we set out for the cabin, we hadn't any idea Wright could get himself in such a terrible fix. Now, Wright figured he was a pretty fair amateur mountain climber, but he was thinking about the mountains where he'd come from. Those mountains were like molehills compared to these granite giants. But he knew the golden eagle nested in the highest cliffs and crags, and nothing was going to stop him from getting there. Wright's mind was on the golden eagle when he started to climb, so he weren't paying much attention to where he tied up Susie, and that meant trouble. He didn't realize them rocks he was a-kicking was landing all around Susie. And as he kept climbing, more and more of them kept showering down, scaring the daylights out of poor Susie. So when one of the rocks loosened the rope tie, that little donkey high-tailed out of there just as fast as she could. Now, climbing a steep rocky cliff in the high wilderness mountains takes a special kind of know-how and a whole lot of experience. And Wright didn't have neither, though he thought he did. And to make things worse, he wasn't paying close attention to what he was doing. Now, when a greenhorn figures he knows more than he really does, and he ain't concentrating on the task at hand, he's headed right smack into a dangerous situation. That's just what Wright was doing. Adams and Ben had moved way out ahead of us as we was a-searching. And a mighty lucky thing it was for Wright, 'cause there was no way he could have saved himself a-hanging like he was above the gorge. Adams knew right off that Wright was in big trouble down the cliff, and he had to move real quick to help.
Don't do that, Mr. Wright. Stay right where you are.
Now, Adams' mind was a-racing at top speed as he picked his way down the cliff. He was trying to figure out how best to rescue Wright from his terrible predicament. Then he saw that the rope down below had somehow wedged in a crack on the cliff, and he knew now how he could haul Wright back up to safety. It took a mighty tug, but Adams yanked that rope loose from the crack so's he and Ben could pull that Wright fella out of there.
I need your help, Ben. Hold on tight, Mr. Wright. All right, Ben. Pull it, Ben. Pull it. Hang on, Mr. Wright. Here we go. That's a good boy. Here we go. Hang on, Mr. Wright. That's good, Ben. We'll get you up. That's good. That's doing it, Ben. Keep pulling. More, Ben.
I can see the top. It's close now. Keep pulling.
That's doing it, Ben. Just a little further, Mr. Wright. He's almost up, Ben. Come on. You all right? Whew.
Bless you, Adams. You too, Ben.
Thank you, Ben.
Uh-oh. Where's Susie? I left her right here.
Well, something could have frightened her off, Mr. Wright.
Susie! Here, Susie!
Here's her tracks. They lead off this way.
Wonder where Susie could have gone.
Well, Susie was safe now from all those fallen rocks, but you might say she was a-jumping from the frying pan into the fire. A wolf showed up that looked mighty unfriendly to a little donkey that was a greenhorn in these parts. You know something, Seven? You and me make a good team looking for Susie. If anybody can find her, you and me should... Seven? Oh, Seven. Well, what in tarnation happened to that critter? I should have known Seven had sensed where his lady friend was and that she had a big problem. And he headed off to help, living proof of what love will do. When he saw that Susie was in a heap of trouble, he just moved right in to face the danger and started leading his lady friend to safety. Why, it was enough to make an old mountain man misty-eyed.
I think Ben's picked up the scent. Come on.
Number 7 left Susie safe and turned on the wolf to chase him away. Then, another wolf showed up, and that was just too much. 2 wolves being unfriendly was more than he could handle. Yep, things was looking mighty grim. But right then, a friend of Seven's came ambling up. He let the wolves know they was unwelcome around there. And when a big grizzly sends out that message, wolves listen and pay heed. Well, there was a lot of rejoicing when we all got together again. Adams knew that Wright was plumb tuckered out and decided to see him back to his camp. Where's Seb? Well, would you look at that? Yeah. Hold it. Come on, lover boy, you gotta go home. Yeah.
Quite a day. Quite a day. Well, maybe I'll be more fortunate tomorrow, huh? I mean, not that I wasn't fortunate today with you and Jack and Coleman, Ben all coming to my rescue, but well, maybe tomorrow I'll be lucky enough to find a golden eagle.
Mr. Wright, maybe you learned today that those golden eagle nests are in pretty dangerous areas.
Oh, agreed.
It takes a really experienced mountain climber to get in those areas.
Oh, now, wait a minute. I mean, I appreciate your concern for my safety, but well, my only goal in life is to fly, and, well, I know now that the fault in my machine, it lies in the construction of the wing. It's in the contour of the wing and the displacement. See, that's why I've got to be able to find a golden eagle to study, just in case I discover something important.
Well, maybe I can help you. What'd another bird do? Like a hawk, maybe.
A hawk? A hawk! Here, hold Susie for a minute, will you? Ah, here it is. I recall reading about Leonardo da Vinci.
He's that famous European painter and sculptor.
Right. Well, he was a man of many talents, and in his sketches of flying machines... Oh, here it is. See that?
Well, that's really interesting.
Yeah, and it mentions in his book that he designed some of his wings after those of a hawk.
Well, we have a lot of hawks up here in the summit, Mr. Wright.
Yes, but unfortunately, they too nest in inaccessible places like cliffs and ledges.
Well, I wasn't thinking of taking her to the nest. I was thinking of maybe bringing the hawk to you.
Bringing them? I don't understand.
Stay here. Yo! Yo, hawk! Yo! Yo! Yo, hawk! Yo!
Amazing! What a beautiful creature. Hey, do you think he'd hold still long enough for me to make a sketch of him?
I think so. Hawk and I have been friends for a long time.
Oh, this is a lot better than being out on a ledge.
You just hold still, Hawk. Maybe one day you'll go down in history.
Did he get his wings out any without him flying? Oh, perfect.
With Adam's help, Wright changed the design of the wings according to what he'd learned from the hawk.
Thanks for all of your help, Mr. Adams. Will I see you tomorrow?
We'll be here tomorrow, won't we, Ben?
I sure hope so, because tomorrow is going to be a momentous day in history. Because man is going to fly for the first time, huh?
See you tomorrow, Mr. Wright.
All right.
Well, look at this, Ben. Everybody's up and around early this morning. They all must know it's a special day. I know. Everybody except we know who. Why don't you help number 7 to see if you can get him up?
What's the matter? Man, what are you doing?
Well, it's time to get up. This is an important day in history.
Important why?
Why? Man's first flight.
Oh, that. Adams, that fella's got about as much chance of flying as number 7 here.
Well, I wouldn't be too sure about that.
Adams, if man was supposed to fly, the good Lord would have given him wings.
Well, what about swimming? Man swims and the good Lord didn't give him any fins.
Well, that's...
Well, Jack?
Oh, it ain't fair. You're making me think before I'm plumb woke.
Just think what a thrill it'd have been to be there when Newton discovered gravity.
Now, I can't see anything too thrilling about watching a man get conked on the head with an apple.
Mr. Wright's put his whole life into this one special day. I think the least we could do is to give him our support.
Well, I know you want to go, you praying Casanova, you.
What do you say?
Well, if it'll keep you all from ganging up on me, I'll go. But first, let's have us a nice batch of Mad Jack's flapjacks.
Coming right up.
Good.
There. Well, we won't miss today, Susie. These corrections I've made, thanks to the hawk, that should make the difference. More lifting power and less wind resistance. Also, I've made these wings rigid. Thanks to Mr. Adams' suggestion. Yes, Susie, I know. We've been through a lot together, but today I know it's going to make it all worthwhile. They did come. Yes, Susie. Number 7 showed up, too. Good morning.
Morning, Mr. Wright.
You'll never know how much I appreciate this.
You got everything ready?
Ah, couldn't be better. Even the heavens are cooperating. No turbulence, favorable thermal drafts. Everything's in order.
I don't know what he said, but he's asking for it. You better stay here.
Well, I guess this is it.
Can we help you?
Yeah, would you help me on with the wings?
Get that handle, Jack.
Got it.
Easy does it now. Fasten the belt here.
Even our most honored guest is here to see man's first flight, Mr. Wright.
You should be here. I mean, you and Mr. Adams made this all possible.
Seems like this calls for a speech or something.
Oh, no, that won't be necessary. Just all of you being here is inspiration enough.
You're sure you want to do this?
Oh, now's the time.
Well,
Good luck, Mr. Wright.
Thank you.
You can do it.
I know. Here we come.
well, I told him flying's for the birds.
Wait, Mr. Wright. Let us give you a hand.
Let me give my hand here. I'm so close.
Yeah, you sure gave her a good try.
You got some nasty-looking bruises. We better attend to them.
Well, appears like this contraption fared better than Wright did. 7, get yourself over here and make yourself useful. 7.
Wait.
What's that for?
This is an herb plant. It'll help heal the cuts and bruises on your face. Here we go.
More than likely we'd be doing that Mr. Wright a favor. Now, just hold still. if we just left this contraption down here. But we got to get it up to the top of the hill so you can just earn your keep a little bit. Now just wait up. All right, let's get with it. That's the way. There you go.
Easy.
Oh. I just can't figure out what went wrong. I'm positive it's not in the fault of the wings.
Now slow down, number 7. You're making bones. Watch what you're doing there. You're going to... Nabbit. Hey, I'm flying. I'm flying. Look at me, number 7. I'm flying. Yeah, I really am flying.
Well, that ought to do it.
Thank you very much.
Adams! Adams!
What in the world?
I flew!
What?
That contraption of yours, that flying machine, I took off, and I flew.
Jack, this ain't no time for tall tales.
And it's no tall tale. I swear by the good book, I flew.
Well, if you say you swear on the good book, then we gotta believe you.
But how could you possibly fly when I could barely get off the ground?
I don't know. I really don't. Number 7 was helping me get the glider up the hill. A cougar jumped out, and then all of a sudden, number 7 was towing me down the hill, lickety-split, and I just took off.
Then you were being towed.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. Don't you see the speed, the momentum? That's what caused it to rise. All right, that means that well, that there's nothing else I can do up here. So I'm gonna return home now and I'm gonna work on that speed factor for takeoff.
You know, Mr. Wright, that could be the key.
I'm certain that's part of it.
Well, Jack and I both wish you a lot of luck.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And, well, if for some reason I don't realize my dream of man flying, who knows, maybe my sons will. Wilbur and Orville.
Adams, you know, I think that flying of mine was just a fluke.
That could be.
Could be. I mean, you think that someday a feller is gonna fly through the air like a bird?
I don't know about that.
Thank you.
But you take that right, fella. The way he works, the time he puts in, and all the failures. And he still intends to keep trying.
You gotta hand it to him. He's not one for giving up.
And it's persistence like that that makes impossible things come true.
Yeah, but flying through the air like a bird. Now, a feller might as well think he could fly up there to that moon.
That might happen. Someday.
Fly to the moon? Never. You better get yourself some more of that black coffee, and the blacker the better. Oh, you remind me of something. I've got something for you. Looky here. Mr. Wright sent this over to you. He said that Susie wanted you to have it. So you can wear it.
Sounds like Seven's got it pretty bad.
Well, he'll get over it. Just like me and that redhead down the rendezvous. I got over that. It only took 3, maybe 4 years. Well, it ain't funny.
Deep inside the forest is a door into another land. Here is our life and home. We are staying here forever in the beauty of this place all alone. But keep on holding